Hello, thank you for joining me. This is a quick little low back reset. So if you've been in the car for a long time or you've been on an airplane and you need something just to give you a sense of where your low back is and make it feel a little less stiff, this might work really well for you. You're going to begin on your back. And the first thing I want you to do is imagine the upper ridge of the pelvis. So that is this area right here where your pelvis meets your low back. That's what we're playing with. And you're going to simply rock a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left. So it's like you're rolling right across that little or that wide base of the pelvis. From here, imagine that you have a tail, or you can use the imagery of your tailbone. You're going to move your tailbone towards the floor and then move your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Just go back and forth there. And notice how that changes the pressure right across that part of your pelvis. Now find a place that feels comfortable. You're going to bridge your hips up. These two front hip bones, notice I'm not very high with my bridge. These two front hip bones, they're just going to make a little circle as you come down. So if I take my hands on my two front hip bones, it's like I'm making a little more elliptical until I make it to the floor. And I'm going to come back up. I'm going to go the other way. Reach your arms out to the sides. You're going to tip your knees all the way to the left. You're going to take this right hand. You're going to slide it all the way up and over. So that you're on your left-hand side. Then you're going to reach your right arm all the way back around. You're going to watch the fingers until you're back over, and then your knees are going to tip back up to the center. Now your knees tip to the left. They do not have to be as far down as mine are. You could totally be up a little bit higher. You're going to take the left arm. You're going to reach all the way up and around. Then you're going to watch the left hand. So your head moves the same rate as the hand. Tip, reach. And you'll notice it starts to become a little more flowy, a little more coordinated. So it's not necessarily the knees moving first. Now, come onto your stomach from there. Press your hands underneath your shoulders. Imagine that tail of yours is reaching up towards the ceiling a little bit. That's going to give you some space to slide your knees and sit your hips back and come up into like this modified hands and knees position. So my hands are pretty close to my knees. My weight's back in my pelvis. You're going to round your back, arch your back. And you can play with letting your pelvis participate. So maybe your tailbone tucks between your legs as you round. Maybe it doesn't. Come on up into a tall kneeling position. You're going to take your fingers right to the sides of your vertebrae. You're going to put a little pressure there, just where those muscles are. It's right above where the vertebral column meets the pelvis. Press your hands in there and allow that little section of your back to arch back, tip forward. Now, where your fingers are, you're going to press your hands in there. You're going to bring yourself back. And you're going to do it again. So it starts with this little tip, pressure in the fingers, sit back. One more. Come onto your hands and your knees. True hands and knees position this time. Let yourself take your tail and swing it to the left and look at it. And swing it to the right and look at it. Look for your tail. One more each way. Come back onto your stomach. You're going to take your fingertips above your head. You're going to sweep your fingers to the left as you sweep your knees to the left, which is going to bring you onto your side. Now you're going to sweep your hands back up overhead as you sweep the knees back behind you. And then hands and knees sweep to the left. And just go back and forth a few times. And from here, come back onto your back. Rest your hands wherever's comfortable. You're just going to take the tiniest little tip of your knees, left and right. One more each way. Come up onto your left-hand side. You have choices. You can either go onto your elbow. I came onto my right-hand side. I recognize that. So if you're watching this and you're like, she's not on her left-hand side. So come up onto whatever side you came up on. And you can be either on your forearm, like I am, on your elbow, or you can be propped up on your hand, whatever you prefer. You're going to take your left hand, in my case, to your chest, and you're just going to look your chest towards the floor and then forward. Chest towards floor. One more. Switch sides. One more. Come on up into a seated position. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found that helpful. And as always, if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.